What up? This is Robert Horry.
Horry, three-pointer. Buries it!
You might know me as Big Shot Bob.
To Horry for three. Oh, unbelievable. This guy is off the charts.
What's going on, Big Shot Bob?
Robert Horry from downtown.
Yes, we have a very busy show today. My goodness, news is breaking as we even start taping this show. I'm Rob Jenners, that's B-Dog Brandon Harper, and flashing his gun on Instagram Live is 7-time NBA champion Robert Horry. Those guns, yeah, the ones that count. Yeah. Those guns.
Those won't get you suspended.
Those ain't gonna catch you a season-long suspension, which I don't know if that's what's coming down for Ja Morant, but yeah. As we are starting to tape the show this week, Doc Rivers dismissed as the head coach of the Sixers just about less than an hour ago.
Yep.
Before we started taping, I didn't think that was a surprise. Did you?
No, I didn't, because if you look at Doc Rivers' history, and he's been up 3-1 more than any. I know he went up 3-1 in this series, but he's been up 3-1 more than any coach. And lost, and I don't think he's going to get another job.
No, but he was up 3-2 in Game 6 at home.
Yes.
You don't think Doc will get another job?
I don't think he's going to get another job.
He'll get another job.
I don't think so.
There's too many teams that need a coach right now.
Well, no, but there's too many teams that's going to look at his history of like, okay, you can't just get me to the dance. You have to dance with me. And Doc's just taking all these teams to the dance and like, peace. And so I think they're going to look at it because like new blood. Think about what they're doing in Phoenix. Monty Williams is a great coach. Mm-hmm. He got guys that play together. I think he'll get a job before he does. And I think also it's not that many jobs really that's going to be out there that people are going to want. And a guy like Doc Rivers, just think about it. He ain't going to take no job again like he did in Orlando and say, I ain't going to work my way from the bottom to the top again.
There's another team.
He wants to go to who?
There's a contender. You don't think Milwaukee will give him a look?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think Milwaukee will give Monty a look before they give.
I think Monty and Milwaukee would actually be a really good fit.
It would be, but I don't see how. Look, I get we talk about how many times he's been in 3-1 situations and how he's wet to bed and blah blah blah. But I don't know how
I
much.
Didn't say he went to bed.
Well, all right,
he kind of well.
Doc Rivers has lost 10 Game 7s. 10.
Right.
That's a lot.
More than any coach.
That's a lot.
But what I'm saying is I don't know how much. Look, I know he won. The title was won back in 2008. He's been to, 2 NBA finals because he lost to the Lakers again in 2010. Well, he lost to the Lakers in 2010.
Yeah.
And beat them in 2008. My thing is I don't know how far that equity stretches, but he's a coach that's who's been there, who's experienced that teams. He's going to get another job. He's going to get another job. You don't think so?
He is not sold.
I don't think so.
He's not
I
sold.
don't think so. I don't think
okay.
so.
I mean,
I just think there's a lot of new coaches out there, bright, eager minds that's going to take over. You get to a point where you time out. And I think Doc Rivers is timed out. I think he's still a hell of a coach, but he's timed out where they're going to want some younger, more guys who with this generation of players. So I think he's just timed out.
So with that in mind, try and help me make sense of Monty Williams getting dismissed in Phoenix. Because I can't.
Well, this is what it is. And I understand this situation. When you're a new owner, the same thing that Tillman did. You want all your people in there. And that's what happens around the league. Think about it. If you own a team and you got this coach that I was like, yeah, he won. He's been coach of the year. We got a new, we did some new things. We brought in Durant. Okay, what am I going to do? I want everybody in my realm. I don't want anybody outside my realm, new guy. So I understand why he fired him. Do I think he should have fired him? No, but I understand why.
You didn't even give him a full season with Durant. You didn't even give him a full season.
2 months?
He just went to the finals last season.
Yeah. And he's a 2-time NBA Coach of the Year in 4 years with the Suns.
Yeah.
So had 50% of his tenure in Phoenix, he was the Coach of the Year.
He probably looking at, you won that game in Milwaukee. Milwaukee beat you in the finals, and then you got blitzed by Dallas the next year. So it's like, I can see how this guy coming in like, let's try something new. But I do realize that you get a guy like Durant, you need a full season, and you need pieces because think about it, they got rid of all their defensive players for Durant.
That's what causes depth issues.
Yeah, it's like that's why they had nothing, and then they stopped playing Cameron Payne. It was so many things going on with that team that you're like, okay, who knows? So
yeah. I mean, you got roster issues, you got all kinds of issues there. I just didn't see Monty as the problem.
No,
and now it's like I get it. I guess my other question is who are you going to get that's better than Monty Williams or even comparable of a coach? Because the rumors right now are that they want to try and get Ty Lue.
I heard about that. They're trying to pry him away from the Clippers.
I mean, you're gonna pry. I mean, look, I can't imagine that Ty Lue's having the time of his life with the Clippers. You got injured superstars. You got blitzed out this year. I don't know what the future looks like for the Clippers with all the injuries with Kawhi and PG and all the stuff going on. But
I bet you they took a look at Doc Rivers.
Who, the Suns?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're going to have to ask Durant and Booker if it's okay.
All right, so is that a legit thing? Like Durant's really going to have a big say in who goes there?
I don't think they'll have a big say, but they will say get the temperature of the room. Say, how do you feel about this guy? Right. Because think about it. Durant. I played against Durant, so he's been around a while. Yeah, and so if he has an issue with someone, you don't want to bring in a coach where Durant has an issue with them because then Durant's gonna be like this. Hey, I want to be traded. So.
Well, we've seen him move a lot too. So
yeah.
I don't know if he hasn't got any shyness about saying he wants to be out of somewhere, but. Yeah. Did you ever play with players that wanted to have a say in the coach?
No.
Okay.
Because the only person that probably could have had a say when I played was Dream. But Dream was like, I'm getting the ball, I'm getting my money, I'm getting paid, I'm getting buckets, so I don't really care. Then when I got to, I wanted to have a say when I got to Phoenix, but I didn't have a chance to have a say. But I think Kobe and Shaq, we had Phil. Then. We got to San Antonio. We had Pop. So, are you really gonna have a say?
No, not with those guys.
Two guys are great coaches, great minds. They're great great people.
Yeah.
And so I don't think he was gonna have an issue with that. So yeah.
So the coaching carousel continues. We'll see how it shakes out. All right. Well, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the biggest story of the week. Ja Morant flashing another gun on social media. He's suspended from all team activities with the Memphis Grizzlies, the NBA, and the team obviously are going to have to meet and figure out the suspension that's going to come down for old Ja Morant. We'll start with, what do you anticipate the suspension looking like?
Well, you already been slapped on the hand once, and so now they're gonna make you a poster boy, because if they don't do anything, it's going to be some other trickle-down effect from a lot of these guys in the league who are followers. And what I mean by that, they say, oh, he was able to do it, so I can do it. And so he's probably going to get 41 games, to me. You're going to probably get half the season.
Half the season,
okay.
It's going to be bad because this is second offense. And if you don't learn from the first offense, But my whole problem with this, you got to have some idiotic friends, man. Your friend, you got the dumbest ass friends you ever seen in your life, dude.
But if
that's go ahead.
If you watch that video, because I didn't see the gun at first, but with lives and people want to catch certain things, they steal shot and they catch it quick. When you watch that video, as soon as he turned that thing over to the camera over to Ja and he saw the gun, he quickly panned over. And he probably was like, yo, bro, put that gun up. But it's too late. And my thing is...
Yeah, there's no second chances with a lot of this stuff.
It ain't even about your friends no more, dog. This is you.
Yeah.
This is what you want to be. This is where you're at. And this is where we are now with you. You 200 million up and you want to hold pistols on IG Live. Come on, dog. You can have all the guns in the world, just like Kwame Brown said, you can have all the guns in the world.
We got Kwame Brown. Yeah. So did you hear any of Kwame?
No, I didn't.
Oh, my goodness. I cut it down to about a minute of my favorite stuff. It goes on for 4 minutes.
Yep.
And he just unloads on Ja Morant. Here's about a minute of Kwame Brown. My goodness.
You love Kwame.
Love Kwame Brown.
So Ja Morant, you like to play with guns, huh, boy? I've heard of NBA young boy, but you NBA dumb boy. you got to be the dumbest motherfucker in the league. You got $231 million promised to you, and you want to be a fucking thug? Yeah, it's okay for you to have a gun. You have you have a right. You have a Second Amendment right to have a gun. But what the fuck do you keep pulling it out menacing for? You was an NBA dumb boy, and your friends ain't your goddamn friend. Cause I done dumb shit before, and you know when I noticed a real friend, they gonna tell you when you wrong, and then they ain't gonna argue with you, but they just not gonna participate and go with you in the bullshit. Thank God you can shoot a goddamn basketball, you can jump, because that's about all you can do. Your brain is fucked up.
Oh, God. It goes on for 4 minutes.
Wow.
And Kwame's just like walking around his house with his phone in his hand, just ranting. And it gets a little personal sometimes. He takes some digs in there, but,
Yeah.
man, he's got a point.
He does. He definitely have a point. And I was trying to think about who in the league has done something like this to just destroy their career. And that this promising. I couldn't think of anybody. You know, I think about how, you know, Rodman had to have a security guy that went with him everywhere just so he would, you know, go out and drink, want to do dumb stuff. And it's almost at a point where he had a chaperone and make sure, you know, he don't do anything that can jeopardize his career, because right now it's on the brink of being kicked out the league, and it's just dumb, man. You can't even put it in other words. It's just dumb.
Yeah, I mean, it's at some point. I think when I was coming up, my stepdad always told me, look, you're gonna make mistakes. Mm-hmm. The trick is don't make the same mistake over and over again. And that's sort of where we are with him, and that's my frustration. Look, you messed up. You caught 8 games. I think the 8 games cost him like $600,000 in salary or something like that. That sucks. Don't make the same mistake again. And the minute one of your buddies picks up a phone, oh my God, you better make sure that if you've got a gun, it ain't anywhere in plain sight. And even still, if one of your boys picks up a phone, slap it out of his damn hand. You're like, what are you doing? Didn't we just do this? And you've done it again now. So, I mean, look, I'm not against, one of the few times you're going to hear me say this, I'm kind of with Chandler Parsons. You can knock him for the whole season. Take him for the season. I don't care. It's asinine behavior. And like you said, Rob, you got to make a point at some point with a guy who's making the same mistake over and over and over.
Here's the only thing that I wouldn't suspend him for a whole season with. If that gun is his and is registered, he has a right to carry a gun. And that's the only thing to me that could save him. Because now I know he's in a position to say, oh, he's this and that, but he still has his, you know, Second and Right Amendment to carry a gun. And it depends on where he was, because if he in, you know, whatever state say you can carry a concealed handgun, he's in his car, whatnot. It's not like he's out in public. He's in a private moment. So if this was in his house and he had a gun, like say if I had a gun rack behind me right now, is that a bad thing?
No.
So I'm trying to be positive for him.
I got you.
I'm not trying to play devil's advocate for guys like Chandler Parsons who wants to suspend him for the season. You know, and that's but that to me, I don't think it's fair to suspend him for a season, because he has a right to have a gun. He has a right to that. And you just can't say, oh, you flashed a gun. I'm like, I wasn't trying to. I know it's the second time I've done this, but you can't take 82 games from me.
Here's the thing. This isn't about your Second Amendment right. This isn't about your right to bear arms. This isn't about the law of the land. This is about the law of a private equity company called the NBA. They have their own rules. So by their own rules, if you violated those rules, yeah, they're not saying that you can't have it, but what they're saying is flashing it on IG Live violates our rules.
Is that a rule?
It's probably a code of conduct.
Yeah, there's a lot of conduct policy stuff in there.
But here's the thing, though. The code of conduct I've been in situations where they talk about the code of conduct. The NBA throws that out the window so many times for stuff that I feel like is worse than this. And so it's like, you know, it's like, to me, flashing a gun or a guy, you know, going out, getting drunk, you know, getting DUIs and all this stuff is worse than that. But for me, you let them back into the league. You let guys who smoke weed get caught back in the league. And there's so many things to me other than flashing a gun as far as code of conduct is worse. And I just, but that's the great thing about the world we live in, especially America. We all have our own opinions. And that's just my opinion, that I just think that the NBA sometimes they overstep their bounds when the situation is not as severe as other situations.
But they've let you know that once. This is the second offense.
That's the key word. That's right. I don't know what was said in the conversations that he had with Adam or his team. So you're right about that. So if they warned him and said, you do it again, it's going to be a year. So that's what I don't know.
For the sake of clarity, here's the NBA's code of conduct on firearms. At the commencement of each season, if the player owns or possesses any firearm, the players will provide the team with proof that the player possesses a license or a registration required to carry it by law. And players are banned from possessing firearms or similar deadly weapons when present at a team or NBA facility or traveling for NBA business. That's the code of conduct on weapons. So there's nothing in there that says in your own private vehicle, your own private home, you are not. But, again, it goes to the gray area like B-Dog just said. You don't know what the NBA said to him the first time around. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
let's not do this again. This is an image problem for us. We don't want to go down this road. If you do it again, we're going to bang you for half a season or whatever.
And the other issue is not just the NBA, but the partners of the NBA, the people that the NBA makes money off of. Ja has Nike, who has their own policy, and Gatorade, who has their own policy. So, okay, the NBA they may be okay with it, but guess what? Nike says, you know what, we don't want to deal with that. That's not great for our image. We'll let you go. Gatorade is like, maybe that's not good for us. We'll let you go. So every brand that you're tied to has their own code of conduct that they could drop you for.
Yeah, there's just a lot going on here. But I get frustrated with guys who make stupid mistakes over and over. And this is obviously when you do it once, okay, fine, but you do it twice, man.
Hey, this is where you need to play that clip now of your former president. Shame on me.
The George W. Bush. Fool me once. Shame on you. Fool me, can't get fooled again. George W. Bush with words of wisdom for an eternity.
I don't remember when he said that.
Oh,
you
man.
Remember that? He was in the classroom.
Yeah, he was doing a. Hold on, I'll find it.
I remember that.
Too goddamn funny.
We have a saying down in Texas. I'm sure y'all have it too. That fool me once, shame on me, but fool me twice, can't get shamed again. That's something he said. I don't remember, but it was just. It wasn't what he's supposed to say.
There's an old saying in Tennessee. I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, "Fool me once, shame on you." If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
Fool me, can't get fooled again. So
wow.
Yeah, fool me, can't get fooled again. Come on, Joe. What are you doing? What are you doing? All right. Well, I mean, I think we've gotten to all of this stuff with Ja Morant.
Yeah.
The only other thing I want to audio I have this week that I have to play for you was the Joel Embiid post game after Game 7.
Hold on now. This is the MVP now.
This is the MVP of the league. My goodness, I got to get your take on this moment post game after the Sixers were eliminated by the Celtics.
You can't win alone. I can't win alone. Me and James, we just can't win alone. That's why basketball is played 5-on-5. So, we just need everybody to just, try to keep finding ways to get better, and, we'll be fine.
Hold on, let me.
I didn't get the number of that bus that he threw all of his teammates under there.
First of all, if I watched that game, and I could tell from jump, he had no energy, he had no fire, and I blame him for that game because you are the biggest and baddest man on the block, and your ass spent more time 15 feet outside of the paint. And to me, everything was a fadeaway with the one leg jump up like you Dirk Nowitzki or Elijah one. It was the worst performance by an MVP in a playoff game that I've ever seen.
In there a stat like he's the only MVP not to ever win a semifinal series or something like that?
Something. And for me, it's like, dude, think about it. Their superstar, Tatum, came out and says, I'm going at you guys.
Oh.
He had 21 points in the first quarter, 1-3.
Yep.
1-3. And this is Joel Embiid, who's supposed to be the MVP, bigger than everybody on that team. He spent shooting 15-foot fadeaway jumpers. He went to the basket, I think, like twice. He scored once, got fouled once. And to me, that is a trickle-down effect. Not just Joel. That's Doc's fault. That's everybody on the bench saying, if it's us and Shaq, get your big ass on the block. We coming to you. Make them double team so it'll be easy for us on the outside. And he never once did that. James Harden never once went to the hole. It was just a very, very poor. And I love Embiid. I've been rooting for him to be MVP 3 years ago. But you got to step up to the plate in this situation. And for you to not accept this and say, yo, team around you, no, it's you, dude. It's all on you.
Joel Embiid, 15 points, 5 of 18 from the field, 0 of 4 from 3. James Harden,
9 points.
9 points, 3 of 11 from the field, 1 of 5 from three-point land.
By the way, your leading scorer that night
was Tobias Harris.
With 19. Tyrese Maxey had 17.
Yep.
So all of this you can't win alone bull crap that you're spouting.
Yeah.
Sounds like they needed your help.
Yeah, you weren't even the leading scorer on the team. What the hell are you talking about? You can't win alone. You and James combined for 23 points. What the hell are you talking about?
Hey,
it's just bad.
This is the thing, and I knew this was going to happen because when you may not be down 3-1, but when you're up 3-2, going home,
you got to win that game.
You
got to win Game 6. You have to.
I told you, and I said, look, the Lakers had relatively no shot in Game 5 in Golden State. I said they were going to win in 6 because Golden State's just not going to lay down. You're going to take. But what did they do? Lakers, they were up 3-2, went back home, and sent them boys packing.
Ooh.
Why? Because they had to get it done. You do not go back to Golden State for a Game 7. You do not go back to Boston for a Game 7. Because you know why? Tatum time.
Yeah.
He showed you. What did Tatum put up,
51? And then, also, when you got P.J. Tucker to come out and score, like, I think it was 11 points in the first quarter, that is inspirational. We got a guy who normally doesn't score, who's scoring. We got to score. That's going to make us that much better. And I was like, okay, Joel Embiid, you're facing up again. Oh, you shooting a fadeaway jumper. Oh, you did not go to the basket. He played with no force at all. Everything was like and not like Hartford and Time Lord aren't good defenders, but you go at them. Time Lord is injured. Hartford is old. You go at them, Embiid, but he didn't.
Yeah, they did not attack the basket at all. Specifically those two guys. But the Sixers overall just didn't. I mean, like you said, the difference between watching Tatum go at them versus what they were throwing back was just, it was lopsided.
I'm going to let y'all know this,
ugly.
Philly.
Yeah.
The process been over. Well, whatever
they
y'all
ain't had the process for.
But whatever y'all want to call this that y'all got now,
well,
I don't care what it is. I think Joel Embiid is a star in this league, superstar, whatever you want to call him. He's an MVP. He's a heck of a player. But at some point in time, him as the anchor of that team, you're going to have to start questioning some stuff. Y'all going to have to start looking at some stuff and figuring out why is it that y'all can't find a way to get over the hump in the Eastern Conference when you're supposed to be a premier team.
And like you said, Rob, when you have an MVP, you're in a Game 7, oh my God, give me the rock. I'm gonna show the entire world why I won the MVP this year.
Yeah.
And it was the total opposite. You got arguably probably one of the worst games he's played all season.
Yeah, and it's the other thing. I like some of those guys they have on the bench. And I know James Harden gave up a lot of money to get a couple of those guys, but come on, man. Their bench, it needs a lot of help. You trying to tell me you have a 6th man of the year on your bench and you don't give him no burn? Montrez could have did something. He could have played with some force. I tell you, he's probably the toughest guy on that team outside of Tucker. And you don't play him. You needed some toughness in that game.
Yeah.
You needed someone that was going to come with some force and play with some nastiness. And that's another reason you look at Doc. It's like, okay, Doc, what's
Yeah,
wrong?
no
with my
adjustments,
career?
man.
Yeah.
No adjustments, and that's been the knock on Doc forever, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he doesn't make the adjustments, but I mean that it was on display.
And let me tell you something else, Joel. You talk about how you and James can't win by yourselves and you need help. It's gonna be you can't win by yourself because
Yeah,
James Harden ain't
gonna
coming
be
back.
there. No way. No way.
He ain't
right?
coming back, dog.
It's funny you say that because I was sitting there, everybody said he's going to go back to Houston. I said, them young Bucks don't want you there. And so I'm trying to figure out what team in the league outside of this one where James will fit in. I don't think there's any other team in the league.
Oh,
where
I got
he will fit
one.
in.
I'm not
Who?
saying he'll fit in, but I got a team that he want to go to.
Who?
Team out west.
Phoenix?
Mm-hmm.
He wants to play with Phoenix?
That's what the report is. I don't know if it's true or not.
Booker ain't gonna play with him, man. Booker and Durant.
I was going to say you got a lot of guys that want the basketball on that team. If that's the case, man.
Look, guys are looking for the path of least resistance, and also the path where
I
can
that,
still
though.
be me, but I can also kind of push the blame on somebody else where I'm the guy, but I don't have to be the guy. But when I do well, I want to be the guy.
Well, that's James Harden.
Well,
that's James Harden.
There's only one point guard out there I think that would fit in good with the Suns. That's Conley. I love Conley.
Oh,
I think
Mike
he'll
Conley?
fit in there.
Mike Conley Jr.
Conley.
Yep.
Yeah, because he can get people to rock. Oh, you need me to shoot? I'll shoot.
Well, they got one already, but he was hurt, and then with Chris Paul.
Well,
I'm at a point now where if I played against you, you need to join me on the sideline. And I think Chris Paul love his game, but his body just can't hold up, man.
it's time, man.
Yeah, body can't hold up unless he's one of these guys. You know what? I'm gonna go back to the college days. I'm only playing 32 games this year. I'm playing twice a week. Everything else is out. I'm gonna load manage
Twice
for
a
real.
week. That's the definition of load management. Jesus, I can't carry the load anymore. That's what that is. All right. Well, before we move on to the Western Conference, while we're in the East, Celtics Heat Eastern Conference Finals. I've heard a lot of people say, "Man, if the Heat can squeak out a couple wins, that's a victory for Miami." How do you see this shaking out? How do you see these two teams stacking up?
You know what? I just don't think Miami has enough depth with all the injuries they have.
I think that's going to be a big problem.
And then it's like, okay, we know who Bam is going to guard. He's probably going to guard, Smart so he can help out. But I don't think Jimmy Butler can guard everybody. And Mad Max is one of my favorite players in the league right now, but I just don't think they got enough depth, enough scoring power to deal with the Celtics.
Yeah,
I hope so, because I'm rooting for the Heat. I got to root for my boy Jimmy Butler. And
Jimmy gonna leave it
I
out
can't root
there.
for the Celtics, but I got to root.
Jimmy
for
can't be everybody though.
No,
Like you're gonna
He's
need
been known to.
need Lowry to dial something up from the past.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're gonna need Kevin
He's going
Love
to reach back in that bag.
Yeah, same thing. Kevin Love's got to pull out some Cleveland years or something. I mean, like it's
Jimmy Butler.
you're asking a lot of that Heat roster.
He is not gonna lay down.
Oh no,
Hey,
hell
good
no.
thing about that, Jimmy, but Kevin Love, him and Al Horford are going to, probably cancel each other out. So that's the only good part about that. I think the key is going to be if you can get some points out of Max. And if Max can get that going, of course, the highest paid bench warmer of all time. If he can come up and replace some people, he can be good too. So
I'm gonna tell you, I think this is gonna be. Most people will look at this and say, "Ooh, whoop-de-doo, this is not anything new." But I really think you're gonna have a really, really big Jaylen Brown series. I think this could be a really big Jaylen. And I know he's the 1-2 with Jason Tatum, but I really think we're going to see Jaylen Brown turn up in this series. I don't know why I feel that way because he's always there, but I can really.
He's been more consistent than Tatum.
Right, he has, but I really, really – but, we glamorize Tatum because obviously, he had the 51 in Game 7, which is the highest scoring Game 7 of all time. And he's Tatum. But I'm talking about consistently through this series. I could really see Jaylen Brown being the guy where it's kind of like, oh, all right, okay.
Well, I think Miami's going to throw the kitchen sink at Jason Tatum to try and slow him down from having another night like that. And you know what I mean? Like you said, when you do the numbers and you go Smart, Tatum, Brown, you're going to get Jaylen Brown's going to get some looks, man, or Green's going to get some looks.
But that's another thing. You go back and you watch that Sixers game. They put Embiid in the pick and roll as much as possible because they know he was going to lag back and Jason was going to have his shot.
Mm-hmm.
And see, that's some of the adjustments you have. You know, to me, the thing about the Miami Heat, they're a way better team defensively than the Sixers. They're going to get up. They're going to force Tatum to go to the hole. They're going to play scramble defense. You know, even though Lowry is older, he's one of those guys that's scrappy defensively. He's going to get a lot of crazy charge. Him and Smart are just alike. You know, they're very smart defensively. So I just think it's going to be someone like a Duncan Robinson, like a Brogdon, that's going to be the keys to these series, because everybody else is going to kind of cancel each other out. But those two guys, you know, from each team are going to be the ones that need to step up, so the others the big dogs can have some rest time.
Western Conference Finals.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Rob's working. That man's working.
Hey, I love the tweet.
How Rob's looking at that Western Conference Finals money.
Hey, they keeping your lights on over there, boy.
Yeah, they are.
I'm happy, man, because every time they play in the playoffs, do something else now. Oh, we can paint the sconces now. I'm like, oh no, let me save this money for you.
No, the Lakers advanced. We can do the floors. Go, make it happen. Make it happen.
Boy,
I like the series. I like the series, though. I do. I do like the series.
I mean, obviously, you know who I'm pulling for to win this thing. But objectively speaking, the way and I know this is going to be a Anthony Davis and Jokic battle. Like, this battle is going to be something else. Just the way Jokic is able just to control an entire game just by the way that he plays is just absolutely phenomenal. And I think Jamal Murray going to cause the Lakers some problems.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Because who's more of a problem, Steph or Jamal?
Oh, Steph.
Think about that.
Steph,
If you think about this
well, it depends, though. I mean, Jamal, we've seen him with the flashes of the Jamal of old, the last series. So the question is, what level of Jamal Murray are you going to get? Yeah,
but you think about it. You love it when each series leads you to the next series. And what I mean by that, you had one of the best shooting guard that plays the game is Steph. And that the way he kind of plays kind of like Jamal. So if Jamal has he pulls up more than Steph. Steph kind of shoots his floaters a little more. So they got that, because you're going to put Vando on Jamal. And so you already got that matchup. We know what that matchup is. You're going to put Vando back in the starting lineup. And so the key is how, what you said, is how Jokic and Anthony Davis play. And Anthony Davis usually gets the best of Jokic because he's the only one that really goes at Jokic.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about KCP.
Right.
You know, KCP's up and down. They know KCP. They played against him. But it's going to be how they guard the best dunker of all time.
Ooh.
Y'all like, who's the best dunker of all time? Gordon, man.
Oh, come on. No, I no. One guy,
I'm only kidding.
One guy I'm a little worried about because of, he can be spotty, but because, I know the Lakers have had, issues in the past with very athletic wing guys, Michael Porter Jr., and how they're going to be able to, he would look, yeah. Who I think he's like 6'10", his ability to be able to put the ball on the floor and shoot the ball the way that he does. If he plays well, he could be a problem in this series, just for the simple fact that you don't necessarily have the body in order to go, do you throw LeBron at him? Who do you throw LeBron at? And that depends on who really has the hot hand outside of Jokic. And LeBron could probably guard Jokic as well. But who are you throwing at Michael Porter Jr.?
I'm putting Austin Reeves on it. Because if you think about this series, you look at who they start. You got Austin Reeves on him. You got I forgot. I got to put D'Lo on KCP.
KCP. Yeah.
I'm putting Vando on Murray, and then putting Austin Reeves on him.
Oh Lord!
Okay.
So you gonna do numbers shoot over him?
But his thing is, Austin Reeves just finished playing Clay. That's a lead up to him. And, and Gordon is let LeBron guard Gordon because, if he's shooting a three, so be it, we lose. But Gordon is not a really good three-point shooter. He's shooting it good of late. I think it's the matchups are perfect for the Lakers, though.
Yeah. I also think that, we start looking at AD, when we start looking at the AD and the Jokic battle, we know Jokic is not beating AD off the dribble. And Jokic cannot keep up with AD when AD puts the ball on the floor. He doesn't have the foot speed. So It's going to be interesting to see. Defensively, we know Anthony Davis is far superior than Jokic. So when AD gets the ball at the top of the key, him being able to put the ball on the floor and get to the basket, that foot speed is far superior than Jokic, so he could get Jokic in some foul trouble.
And if he does get in foul trouble, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Man. They're not, when you talk about MVPs, if you take Jokic off that team, Denver probably only wins 30 games.
If I told you in October that this was the conversation we would be having today, both of y'all would have said I was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You would have just both said, you're off the show, shut up.
Yeah.
Hey, you smoking some good shit over there, ain't you?
Pass the Dutchie.
Who knew that the trading of one man could change the dynamic of a season?
I mean, you're on the precipice. You're talking about how you're favoring the Lakers in all of these matchups against the number one team in the West.
Yeah. I don't know. I can see this going. I said 6. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes 7.
All right. You want Draymond's pick? Here's Draymond Green's Draymond pick.
It is going to be on the Lakers to, you either got to stop Joker from passing or stop him from scoring. The easier one to do is stop him from getting assists. Can't allow him to get both. If he gets both, you lose. It's very simple. Denver ready, man. I think Denver is ready. Like Denver taking that next step. They doing it. We watching it. But I think we're going to have a rerun of 2020. I think the Lakers are the bubble, and I think the Lakers will take it. I got the Lakers in 6. Closing out at home in 6. That is my prediction. That's what I'm rolling with, and I'm sticking to it.
You got to be the dumbest motherfucker in the league.
No. Hey, why would you say that, Kwame? You back your ass up, man. What was that about?
Don't do that, Draymond.
What was that about? Yeah. So Draymond's rolling with the Lakers in 6.
Hey, how funny are all the memes with Draymond coming to the locker room? That's that North Carolina meme where with the Lakers I help y'all win. Yeah. That shit is funny to me, man.
Hey, the man. I'm not mad at him. It makes sense. You got to stop him from either passing or scoring. You can't have him do both. He's right. But he has an affinity for LeBron. He loves LeBron. You remember that time where LeBron was about to break Kareem's record? He was like, Steve Kerr would try to keep Draymond from actually going to the game. He's like, bro, no. You don't need to go to that game. We got a game. We got to travel.
we got our own stuff.
We got our own stuff.
Yeah. Well, you saw the after.
Let me just say this: if I'm a coach, I wish a motherfucker would come ask me if he can go see me like that. I'm like, dude, are you fucking serious right now?
I'll whoop your
ass. I gotta say, if that's your brother as a family member,
right?
Ask me for it. Yeah, no. I get upset when you help you, especially in the playoffs. You help somebody else from another team. I don't care if it's your brother, your sister. I ain't helping nobody else. Yeah. I remember one time I went over and slapped the guy's hand trying to help another team. A guy on the other. I'm just helping that motherfucker.
Yeah,
up, man.
He got 4 other dudes with the same jersey on who can help him up.
Yeah. Put your ass back over on the bench. What are you doing? All right. Only last thing before we get big shot of the week when we do our game. Draft lotteries tonight. We're taping this on Tuesday. We got the NBA draft lottery tonight. Everybody's basically vying for
Victor Wembanyama. You can't say it, Rob.
Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, if you say Victor Wembanyama, you gotta say it quickly.
Victor Wembanyama.
Put a little Cuban on that. And so that seems to be the consensus. Are you a believer in the draft lottery conspiracies at all, or no?
We've heard them.
You got the Knicks when Patrick went to the Knicks. You got
Cold envelope.
Always stayed. You don't know.
Yep.
Shaq's was the one always that. You
want to go somewhere hot or somewhere cold?
Yeah, where David Stern said to him, "You want to play somewhere hot or you want to play somewhere cold?" And he swears that happened. Now, I don't know how much I love Shaquille. He loves to embellish. But he swears David Stern said that to him before the draft, before the lottery.
Same thing with the Stevie Wonder store.
Wow.
Hey, but you got to think about the first pick was Shaq. The second pick was Orlando, Charlotte, it was all warm teams. Or if you do you consider?
I think
Charlotte warm?
because Charlotte was the number 2, right? Didn't they take Alonzo Mourning?
Alonzo Mourning, then
right behind
Christian
Shaquille.
Laettner.
Yeah, and then Christian Laettner went 3.
And then Jimmy Jackson, Dallas. It's like
yeah,
that was all warm places.
Well, Dallas. Hold on, in that winter, I didn't see some snow.
It's only like a month. It's only a month of winter. Yeah.
Yeah, but didn't it like break all the damn pipes and flood the houses last time they got a major like?
Hey man, why you got to bring that up?
Well, I'm just saying, you dealt with it. I'm just saying it happens. Get classified Dallas.
When the last time you heard that happening in Orlando?
Yeah, for real, or Miami?
Right,
yeah, it's gonna happen. All right.
You just get ate by alligators in Orlando.
Let me ask you this: when it comes to Victor,
Miami too.
Some people, I've heard a few people say that the worst place. I don't want to say the worst. I don't want to use that word, but I guess from a media standpoint, the worst place he could possibly go is San Antonio. What do you think?
Well, you got to think about the market in San Antonio. It's probably one of the worst markets in the NBA, and their fan base is great. They're used to having foreign players there. You know, you had one of the best French players ever played a game in Tony Parker there. Yeah. But I just think that it's not marketable. You think about 2 years ago, this was the only team in the NBA that didn't have a nationally televised game. This is a team that for some point was thinking about, there was some rumors that they was going to go to, Vegas. They was going to move them. So I hope he goes to where he wants to go. And I don't know if San Antonio is a good place for him. Just because of him and his off the court stuff that he could do. But in this day and age, everything is done through a smartphone anyway. So it's just going to be really interesting how he handles that. And will Tony step up to help him if he does go to San Antonio?
Now, San Antonio, I would say from what it looks like from his demeanor and just the way he carries himself, it looks like that would be a match for him.
Yeah. Yeah. I think like a lot of foreign guys who come into the league, San Antonio is a great place for them because it's a small town. It's a lot to do, but not a lot to do. I know that kind of sounds stupid, but he can really be great under the tutelage of Pop. I think he could understand the game more. He won't have a lot of think about it. In LA, there's a lot coming at you. In Miami, there's a lot coming at you. In other cities, there's a lot coming at you. In San Antonio, there's not much coming at you, but but the Riverwalk and some good food. And so I just think that this is, for me as a player, I would want to go there.
Harper, are you laughing about Chuck with the chunky women?
Churros and a big old
Hey, I wouldn't go there. Because Chuck.
I just see Harper giggling, and I'm like, shit, I know what he's laughing about.
Yeah.
I know what he's laughing about.
Yeah, but I think I think Pop would be a good coach for him.
Oh, absolutely.
How many years do you think
that's
Pop's
the best saving
got,
thing
though?
for him if he goes to San Antonio?
You think Pop wants to keep going 5 more years, 6 more years?
If he gets Victor, yes.
Well, if that rejuvenates that offense, then maybe.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I mean, I kind of look at Pop, and I'm like, he's got to be nearing the end of the line, man.
To me, it seems like, with the loss of his wife and a team that's not winning, and
struggling
Tim
to rebuild, and
Tim not coming around as much. I think it could be hard on him. So, but if he gets Victor, he probably like, I'm back, Mortimer. I'm back.
We're back.
But I will say this, you see Pop a lot, even in his struggling seasons. He's smiling a lot more. There's a lot more jokes. I mean, we all knew Pop had a real interesting personality, even when he wasn't smiling a lot.
It's called an asshole.
No, okay, cool. I'm gonna let you say it.
I wouldn't call one of the greatest coaches in NBA history an asshole.
Oh no, he can still be.
No, I'm not calling him an asshole. He can be an asshole at times. Everybody knows that because the way he used to do those sideline interviews, he was been an asshole, and everybody was like, "Oh shit, let's make it funny now." Yeah.
Right. So I mean, you see him smiling a lot more, joking a lot more. I think he's just now at the point where it's like, I'm enjoying the ride off into the sunset whenever that may be. But it would be interesting to see if Victor lands there to see if that kind of changes that a bit.
Yeah, we'll find out tonight, though.
We'll find out.
Who you think going to get the number 1 pick, Houston or San Antonio?
Well, it's Houston, San Antonio, and Detroit all have the same 14%.
Oh, imagine if Detroit get this Cade Cunningham.
Ooh. Hey, I guarantee
the Pistons could use it.
I guarantee you Detroit gets the pick.
Oh, winky.
I say I say Houston.
I was leaning toward Houston, too. I don't know why. I had a feeling about Houston.
Detroit going to get the pick because now you're going to have another good team in the East. Because if he goes to San Antonio or Houston, they still going to suck. No matter, they're not going to make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. But you go to Detroit, they're going to be making the playoffs.
Now you got a shot. Yeah.
Yeah, you got. I'm telling you, you're going to Detroit. Watch.
Okay.
And now the conspiracy comes to light.
Yes, it does. You brought up, before we do Big Shot, you brought up San Antonio. You know, the only thing, I've been to San Antonio once. Riverwalk is really cool. The only thing that threw me about San Antonio was the Alamo. Because you think of, like, the Alamo up on a hill with, like, the sun rising behind it and nothing else around it. And, like, there's the Alamo. And that Joker's in, like, a strip mall. It's like 7-Eleven, dry cleaner, the Alamo. Some museum, and, like, a few more shops.
Love you, too. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love you.
Yeah. Yeah, the Alamo is like, hey, you just be like, how people look down, looking at the map. So, the Alamo is right here. Like, oh shit, we just passed it.
Where?
It's really small.
It's really small, and it is just surrounded by commercialism.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that.
It's the mall. The mall's right next to it.
Yeah, it's like you can get the Alamo and a Burger King. I mean, like right next to each other. Like, I don't think they fought for the same thing, but okay. We've put them together. You don't know what the Burger King went through. All right, well, let's do a Big Shot of the Week, then we'll play our game. Big Shot of the Week this week is going to go to a guy named Deputy Daniel Red Jones of Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office in Florida. Here's why. Right before Mother's Day, he was reunited with a little young baby, a baby he helped deliver on the shoulder of Highway 60 in Plant City about 2 weeks earlier. This happened on April 30th. The baby's father and mother were headed to a Tampa General Hospital. When the mother's water broke, realizing they weren't going to make it, they started flagging down cars. They happened to grab Deputy Jones. Deputy Jones delivers this baby on the side of the road. He's been an officer since 2001. This is the third baby this man has delivered. What? I didn't realize like sheriffs will just regularly deliver babies on the side of the road.
His officer doctor.
Yeah, must be.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he got to hold the baby and was reunited, and his nickname is Red, and they're jokingly nicknaming the baby Little Red. Big shot of the week to Deputy Red Jones for delivering a kid and having done it 2 other times.
Deputy Doctor.
I wouldn't even know what the hell to
Red
do.
Jones.
A car flags you down. My wife's having a baby. I'd be like, shalom, keep driving. You know what I mean?
Hey, man, I'm like, you ain't set me up. I'm keep on going. I know
that's Robert Horry. Flag him down. Is this your baby?
Do you think you could, like, if need be, like seriously, if you needed to, do you think you could deliver a child? No, I mean, not you physically deliver it, but I mean, you be there to be like, hey.
I had a problem just looking over it as I couldn't do it. Mm-mm. So I get really squeamish and my hands get weak and I get like,
No. I couldn't do it. No. When my daughter was born, I stood next to my wife back here while it was happening over there. And I held her hand and I looked at her and I talked to her and I was not looking that way.
Yeah, I get all that. But y'all had options. Yeah, like the doctor was there to where you don't have to look at it. I'm talking about on the side of the road.
No, I'm still telling you
I wouldn't even know what to do. I wouldn't even know what to do. I mean, like, it's like.
I better hope she's had 4 or 5 babies. We're just going right on out.
You gotta some instinct could kick in and be like, hey, breathe. Breathe, and when on the count of 3, when I say push.
No, what?
You push.
What are you Chicago Hope? What the hell are you? Watch every medical TV show, all of a sudden you know how to deliver a baby?
What other choice do I have?
I'd be like, I got a bucket and a crowbar in the trunk. I'll be right back.
Right.
I don't know what the hell to do.
But what else? But my thing is, you got because what other choice do you have?
Oh, yeah, no, you try to help. I get it. Yeah, but I'm like, I still wouldn't know what the hell I was doing.
You better put them hazards on and put the pedal to the metal and get your ass to the hospital.
I think the last thing this woman wants is me watching a YouTube video of how to deliver a baby while trying to help her deliver a baby.
I'm taking the stuff I've seen, all the little stuff I've seen on TV, and I'm putting it to practice because some of it got to be real. So I'm doing that.
No.
Okay, Doogie Howser.
Yeah. Half those shows are written by idiots like me. I wouldn't trust that for nothing.
Look, man.
For nothing, man. All right. Well, look, maybe we all get to keep our jobs this week. Unfortunately, In the past week, we've seen a lot of firings, so we're going to do a quick game here called I Got Fired. I'm going to start throwing you guys clues about somebody, an NBA head coach that's been fired. You just got to tell me the first one to guess the NBA head coach that I'm talking about will get the point. So, like, for instance, question number 1. I got fired after only coaching 16 games in the NBA. To be fair, I was never a head coach before, and I was only helping out my former boss, who had fired our old coach at the end of the 93-94 season in LA. My old coach, Pat Riley, said it would be torture.
Kurt Rambis.
No. Maybe I should have just left the Lakers yellow up with my retired jersey in the rafters.
Magic.
There you go, Rob. Got it first. Good job. Yeah, Magic Johnson coached 16 games for the Lakers, quit after game 11, and then was like, I'll hang out for the last 5.
Sounds like his GM tenure.
Yeah, very much so. What was that, like a half a season?
Hey, that meme where he like, nah, I ain't coming back.
My favorite Magic Johnson meme.
I got a story of Magic tells that team, I want y'all to go outside. Look at that blue sky. Look at that ocean. Look at those palm trees. Because half you motherfuckers ain't going to be here next year. Y'all fucking suck.
Oh, no. All right. Good job, Rob. All right, here you go. Number 2. I got fired for tanking. But hey, I mean, what do you expect when you lose 3 huge superstars? I mean, it's not like people are flocking to come play in Cleveland without LeBron. Besides, I took down the Warriors. I'm going to end up coaching in LA soon anyway.
Mike Brown?
No, the other one.
David Blatt?
The one Ty Lue took his place.
David Blatt?
No, you said it, but you were wrong. Ty Lue.
Oh,
Ty Lue?
Ty Lue got fired for
He don't
tanking.
get no point for that.
He got fired for tanking.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ty Lue got fired? I thought
You
he
guys were
left.
both way off, so I just blew the whistle on that one.
Yeah.
Y'all weren't going to get it. So. All right, number 3. I got fired with superstars on my roster, damn it. Granted, they weren't quite superstars yet, but after one successful season in Brooklyn, I was sure I could make it work in Milwaukee.
Steve Nash.
No.
Oh, shit.
I had Jabari Parker. I had a young Giannis on the roster, but midway through my 5th season, I got the plug pulled on me.
Jason Kidd.
Yeah, Jason Kidd, which I forget that Jason Kidd coached Giannis for a few years, and it completely slipped my mind that he was the head coach there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now he's in Dallas.
Now he's in Dallas.
You said, what, 3 jobs so far?
Dallas,
so, yeah.
Milwaukee,
Brooklyn.
New Jersey?
Yeah.
Well, it was Brooklyn.
It was Brooklyn.
It was Brooklyn.
But yeah, I don't.
New Jersey
Yeah.
when he coached it.
It might have been. It might have been. It doesn't matter. He got fired. Number 4, I got fired after winning a title. Now, granted, it was a bubble title, but hey, who needs a game plan when you have LeBron and AD?
Oh, Frank Vogel.
There you go.
Frank Vogel.
Frank Vogel.
Everyone shit on Frank Vogel. He doesn't have a game plan. I'm like, what?
Frank
Was
Vogel.
Frank Vogel unprepared? Did you ever look at that team and think, he's kind of skating through this?
I don't think he was unprepared. He just had too many people trying to tell him what to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, you had front office, you had players, you had assistants, and you had people. And it was just so much going on where I was like, yo, man, I felt bad for the dude because it's like, well, I want to do this. I want to do this. No, you should do this. No, you going to do this. It was just too many people telling him what to do.
It was so different than the Frank Vogel of Indiana. I mean, it was like a different coach almost entirely.
Yeah.
When he got to LA. So it was weird. All right, last one. I got fired twice by the same team. But I was sure when they brought me back the second time with this kid Kyrie Irving that I could make it work.
Mike Brown.
There it is. Unfortunately, I kind of lost control of the locker room after
Mike
that
Brown.
season. Yeah, and good old Mike Brown got fired twice.
He got fired by who?
By the Cleveland Cavaliers twice.
And the Lakers. Oh, Cleveland Cavaliers fired him twice?
Yeah. Did they not?
I know he got fired by the Lakers. He got fired by Cleveland.
They brought him back to coach in Cleveland. Was he an assistant there?
I don't know.
Well, either way, he got fired twice.
Yeah, he did.
He's been fired twice. Yes.
And so now he's coach of the year.
You got me.
Which means he'll be fired in 2 years.
He ain't gonna have a job.
He gonna be looking for a job in 2 years. He's gonna go back to Steph's.
He was the coach of the Cavs from 2005 to 2010. He got fired, and then they brought him back in 2015 and fired him after one season.
Got it.
So yeah, he did get. I'm like, I was going crazy.
He gonna be fired in 2 years. He's gonna go back to Golden State and put some more color on Steve Kerr's bench. Hey, that's the whitest bench I've seen in my life, dude.
Oh my god!
Have you looked at his bench? It's
I
brother.
have not really looked at it, but now that you say it, oh boy!
And like you look at his bench, it's just white. Is he white? And then you have to do a closer. Oh, he's a brother. And then you got the brother in the back. It's all white, man. I'm like, well, damn, Steve Kerr. Man. I'm like, shit. The whole team black. Get some brothers on your fucking staff. I'm available, Steve.